Hey all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Justice League movie MAFEX Flash figure from Medicom Toy. Now the other week I took a look at the SH Figuarts version of the Flash, and I'm going to be comparing the two figures and giving my thoughts on which one I think is better. Now right off the bat, I'm leaning more towards the MAFEX one, mainly because you get that unmasked head with this one. The SH Figuarts one was really skimpy with the accessories and such. So like I said, right off the bat, I am definitely leaning more towards the MAFEX one. But let's get this open and take a look at it more closely and see if the actual figure is better than the SH Figuarts one, or if they're comparable to each other or what have you. Now this figure comes packaged in a window box. Up in the corner, you've got the Justice League movie logo. You've got the figure clearly displayed. Down below, you've got the name of the character and an image of the figure. On one side, you just have an image of the figure. The other side, another image of the figure and the Justice League logo. And then on the back, you have more images of the figure showing off the various poses and everything you can put it in. And then some writing that I really can't read. All right, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. And while I won't say this thing is chocked with a ton of accessories, it definitely has more than just a couple pair of hands like the SH Figuarts version. So first of all, we get a basic MAFEX figure flight stand. So this is done with the clear plastic, and you've got the base with the 3 holes here. So you got 2 on the side and then 1 up here at the top. So you can put the arm in any of the holes, and then you can rotate the arm there at the base. And you've got articulation down there at the bottom. So you've got back and forth movement. You've got articulation here at the midsection and then up here at the top. And all of these have little screws, so you can tighten these if they start to get a little bit loose. And then you also have the clamp here, and you can rotate the clamp. The clamp you can actually take off, and the clamp, basically you just put it around the figure's waist or what have you, so you can put it in running poses, flight poses, jumping poses, or what have you. And these overall work pretty good. The figure comes with 5 different pairs of hands, and I like how some of these are made to recreate certain scenes from the movie. So like this pair, I believe, were to kind of recreate the scene where he's racing Superman. So when he gets down that crouching position, the block position, and he puts his hand down on the ground to start the race, I believe that's what this pair of hands are supposed to mimic. Then you get this generic open pair of hands, and I like how the hands have nice detailing. You've got the fingerless gloves with the maroon color and some black, and you even got some texturing there on the maroon color, so I like that detailing. Good skin tone too. Then you get this generic open pair of running hands. We see this with all kinds of running type figures where all the fingers are together, also used for like flight poses and stuff. And then you get this pair of closed fisted hands, and then you get this pair of hands that is made to recreate the scene where he's running in slow motion and he tips Wonder Woman's sword back to her hand while she's fighting Steppenwolf. So again, another pair that's kind of movie centric. Switching out the hands is easy. You just pop off the hand you want to replace. You've got the hole in the hand, and then you've got these little pegs attached to the arm. And those pegs might move around a little bit on you when you're trying to put the new hand in, but for the most part, it's pretty easy, and the hands do fit nice and tight. Now the final accessory you get with this figure, which is the thing I think kind of puts this over the top over the SH Figuarts version, is this unmasked head. And I think they've done a pretty solid job here capturing the actor's likeness. I think the MAFEX figures have been doing a good job recently with unmasked heads. The Spider-Man Homecoming figure had a good one, and this one I think is solid as well. I like the eyes, the skin tone is decent. I like the way they've sculpted the hair. The hair's done with just a dark black color. And again, I think the likeness to the actor is pretty good with this one. Definitely better than the Mattel version. This is the one that came with the Target exclusive Flash 2-pack. And this new head, the MAFEX head, definitely looks much closer to the actor's likeness than that Mattel version. The mask head included with the figure, which is attached when you take it out of the packaging, I also think does a pretty solid job of capturing the actor's likeness, even with the mask on. And I thought the same thing with the SH Figuarts version, so in that regards, I think both figures are pretty solid. And I like the detailing on the mask with the texturing and everything, and you've got the gold for the side wings, which look pretty good, and those are actually sculpted on there. And then you've got the line work on the helmet and on the back of the helmet and everything. So overall, you know, seems to be very movie accurate. Now switching out the heads is easy. You just pop off the head. Now you can, if you got to be careful because you can pop off the entire neck. The neck attaches at both ends, but if you do that, you can just pull it off the one head and attach it to the other one, and then just plug the neck back in. And again, it does fit nice and tight. And I think the unmasked head fits on the figure well as far as size. I think it's proportioned correctly with the body, so it doesn't look like the head is too big or anything. Okay, so for the figure itself, nice detailing overall. You've got the silver lines throughout, which are done with a metallic silver. You've got this darker maroon color that you see here at the midsection, and then in other areas like here at the waist and at the knees and stuff. I like that. You've got the metallic gold here on the lower legs and the waist section, and I like the sculpting of the lightning bolt on his chest, and you've got some metallic silver behind that, which I think looks good, and then you've got the darker maroon color behind that, so I like that detailing. You got some nice detailing on the back as well. I like, you know, these lines that go down the helmet and match up with the neck pretty nicely, and then again you've got some nice sculpting detail on the back. So overall, I like the overall look with that. Now with this here on his butt, it's more of a darker, almost, I won't say black, but much darker than even this darker maroon like you see here on the leg. So you definitely got multiple colors going on here, which I think is in keeping with what he wore in the movie. You know, this suit I think was kind of a piecemeal type thing that he kind of threw together. So this definitely kind of incorporates that. And then you have detailing even down to the feet with the metallic gold lightning bolts there and the darker colors on the feet. So overall, you know, I think they've done a really nice job capturing the look of the suit from the movie. Now, when comparing the SH Figuarts one, which is this one right here, with the MAFEX one, I like both of them. I think both of them are solid looking figures. You've got more of a glossy maroon color on the SH Figuarts one. It's a little more glossy throughout, but I think you've got better paint detailing. You've got the more glossy maroon color, then you've got that darker maroon color like here on the midsection, and then you've got almost that black color like here at the waist section. Whereas on the SH Figuarts one, it's mostly just the shinier maroon color, and then you've got this darker grayish color, but you don't really have the darker maroon colors mixed in on this one. So I think the MAFEX one is a little more movie accurate as far as overall detailing. Also with the gloves you'll notice on the MAFEX version, the maroon color is a much darker color than the rest of the arm. And with the SH Figuarts one, the maroon color on the gloves actually matches up with the arm much better. Now, I've got to be honest, I like the look of the gloves on the SH Figuarts one personally, but I went back and looked at the source material, the costume from the actual movie, and I think this darker color on the gloves that doesn't quite match the arms is actually more movie accurate. The other thing where I think the MAFEX version is a little bit better is here with the articulation, how it looks on the figure, and this is very minor, because I'm doing a comparison of the two, but you'll notice on the SH Figuarts one how here at the midsection, this midsection joint, the chest area on the sides kind of sticks out a little bit more. It's more smooth on the MAFEX version, and I like that a little bit better. Now this MAFEX flash figure stands at right about 6 1/4 inches tall, maybe a little bit over 6 1/4 inches. And again, here's a comparison with the SH Figuarts version, and these two figures are almost the identical same height. Here's a comparison with the Mattel 6-inch Multiverse Justice League movie Flash, which is a little bit taller. And then finally, here's a comparison of the MAFEX Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice Batman figure and the Wonder Woman movie Wonder Woman figure. Okay, so for articulation, you can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he can look down that much, and he can look up that much, and you got good head pivot. You can pivot at the neck. As I mentioned before, the neck attaches at the bottom and the top with ball joints, so you get overall good head movement with this figure. Now the arms, you can get out pretty good. These shoulder pads are articulated, so they don't really limit too much of the arm movement. And you also have a butterfly type joint there, so you got some back and forth movement there at the shoulder. You got good rotation there, and then you have a bicep swivel. You can cross over pretty good with this one. Now you do want to be a little bit careful. I've had a tendency, especially with this left arm, where the arm kind of pops out here at the bicep swivel. It just attaches with a ball type peg, and you can pop it back in, but definitely I've had a tendency for that to kind of pop out when I start moving the arm around. So that's just something you want to be wary of. He's got a double hinge type elbow, so he's got good bending there at the elbow, and then you've got rotation at the hands, and you have those ball peg joints, so you've got up and down movement, or if you turn the peg, you can rotate the arm so you get the back and forth movement there at the hand, depending on how you turn that ball peg joint. Then you have a midsection joint here, so you've got rotation there at the midsection. You've got pretty good pivot there at the midsection. You really can't crunch forward. He really doesn't have a good ab crunch, and he can look back there at the midsection about that much. You also have a waist swivel. It again just attaches with a ball peg type joint, so you can rotate there. You can pivot to the left and the right. If it pops out, you can just pop it back in. With the legs, you can kind of pull them out from the socket. You can get the leg forward good, and you can do the leg back. You also have a thigh type swivel up high there, so you've got rotation there. And then with the knees, you've got a double hinge knee, so good bending there at the knee. And then with the feet, you've got up and down movement, you've got rotation, and you've got some ankle pivot. And then you do have toe articulation with this one as well, but no peg holes on the bottom of the feet. I do like how they've got the little lightning bolts on the bottom of his feet for his soles. So that's my review. So overall, I definitely like this MAFEX version of the Flash. I think they did a nice job overall with the paint applications. I like the accessories. I like the Unmasked Head. And as far as overall superiority, I think the MAFEX version wins over either the SH Figuarts or the Mattel. Now, in fairness to Mattel, the Mattel figure is actually pretty solid in its own right, and it only costs $20. So the one area where Mattel is superior is cost. If you want, basically only have to spend $20 as opposed to 70 or 80 or whatever with these import figures. But if you're looking for just the best figure overall, I definitely got to give it to the MAFEX version. Now, this figure is available now. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel by hitting that button down below. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch accounts. I have links to all those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.